Welcome to our channel, where we update the most thrilling and mysterious episodes of the TV series Beyond the Gates. If you are passionate about shocking twists, complicated relationships and secrets that cannot be hidden, then you have come to the right place. Prepare yourself for an intense emotional journey, where all the truths are revealed in the most painful way. Dani could not believe her eyes when she accidentally walked into the room where Ashley was standing alone, her trembling hands holding the pregnancy test results that were still printed with ink. Dani's heart stopped beating in that moment. Everything around her seemed to collapse in an invisible earthquake, leaving her frozen in place. She had suspected, felt that something was unusual between Ashley and Andre, but she never imagined that the truth would be this cruel. Ashley, whom Dani once considered a friend, an ally, someone she could trust in a world full of intrigue and deception, was now carrying Andre's child, the only man Dani had ever truly loved and trusted. This betrayal was not simply a stab in the back, but a deep cut in her heart, a wound that could never be healed. Dani turned away, her steps unsteady as if she had lost her way. Her mind reeling from the chaotic images of the past, the moments she had shared with Andre, the promises, the meaningful glances she had seen between Ashley and Andre, but had always convinced herself that they were just her imagination. Now everything seemed to be cruelly and bitterly deciphered. She remembered the time Andre disappeared without a reason one night when they were planning their future. At that time, he made an excuse about urgent work. But the look in his eyes as he left made Dani wonder, and that night, no one knew where Andre was. Now she knew too well the truth. Ashley didn't expect Dani to know. She thought she had hidden everything long enough, that no one would know the truth until the baby was born and she could make up a different story. But now, everything was collapsing before her eyes. Ashley had thought that if she kept this secret long enough, everything would pass quietly. But she had underestimated Dani, a smart, perceptive woman with extremely strong intuition. Ashley knew that Dani was not the type to easily ignore such a terrible truth. And what was even more frightening was that Dani was not silent, she was preparing to act. Dani's anger could no longer be contained. She rushed to find every evidence to expose Andre, to make Ashley pay for her betrayal. She dug into the past, finding messages, photos, calls, and even Andre's suspicious disappearances. Every clue, every piece of evidence she gathered was like another stab in her heart, but she couldn't stop. She had to fight, not only for herself, but also for her offended pride and justice. Andre, meanwhile, was playing a dangerous game that he couldn't control. He had carelessly plunged into his relationship with Ashley, thinking it was just a passing infatuation, a mistake that could be covered up. But the consequences were too great now. The child in Ashley's belly was living, undeniable proof, a permanent indictment of his betrayal. Andre tried to contact Dani, wanting to explain. But every word was now empty and meaningless. Dani didn't want to listen anymore. She had heard enough, seen enough, and suffered enough. The whole town began to buzz with rumors. People whispered about Ashley, about her growing belly, about Andre's unusual absence from gatherings. No one dared to say it out loud, but everyone knew that a storm was brewing. Those close to Dani began to worry as she became colder, quieter, and sharper than ever. The trauma had turned her into a different person, no longer the gentle, affectionate woman she had been, but a warrior filled with wounds and anger. Ashley was increasingly panicked. She felt isolated from everyone around her. The suspicious looks, the hidden words, all made her unable to breathe. She had thought Andre would be there for her, but now, he was avoiding her. Andre was afraid to face responsibility, to Dani, and to face the truth that he himself had initiated. Ashley, alone, faced both the ostracism of the community and the fear of being exposed by Dani. Every night, she lay awake, clutching her belly and trying to convince herself that it would all pass. That this child was a blessing in the midst of the storm. But deep down, she knew, this child was the result of an unforgivable sin. Dani decided not only to expose the truth, but also to make Andre and Ashley pay dearly. She didn't want to go public in the usual way. She planned to turn everything around at the moment the baby was born, the moment when all emotions would burst, all secrets would be undeniable, and all regrets would be worthless. She wanted them to feel the same feeling of losing everything that she had. She was not afraid of the fierceness of the plan she was pursuing. When Ashley began to feel the pain of labor, Dani was ready. She showed up at the hospital, not a word of greeting, not a tear. Just a cold stare at Andre, who stood there with a confused and guilty expression. Dani handed over a document, the results of the DNA test she had secretly performed using a hair sample from Andre's comb and a blood sample from Ashley's maternity records. It was all clearly proven. No one could deny it anymore. At that moment, the hospital seemed to stop. All sounds became faint, leaving only the strong heartbeats in everyone's chests. Andre stepped back, his eyes stunned. Ashley burst into tears, her whole body shaking uncontrollably. That was the moment Dani felt she had regained some justice. But it also left her with an endless void. Not all victories are sweet. Some victories leave only exhaustion and bitterness. From that moment on, everything changed. Andre was fired from the company for personal scandals. Ashley could not go out without facing the judgmental eyes of the community. Dani left, carrying a heart full of scars. But she proved that she was not easily trampled. She stood up, fought back, and reclaimed her honor. But deep down, she also knows that no amount of revenge can completely heal the pain of betrayal from the people she loved and trusted the most. And that's just the beginning of the nightmare called truth. When all secrets are brought to light, no one can escape the consequences. Will Dani truly find peace after the pain? How will Andre and Ashley bear the consequences of what they have caused? The next developments of Beyond the Gates promise to be more tense and shocking than ever. Stay tuned for the latest analysis and developments only on our channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any shocking details in the future.